sometimes it's very rare, but the subsurface wastewater rules changed for the first time in years, and they added some pieces and deleted some other pieces. So, you know, we can tell you, hey, this is a change that's coming up if there's something major in a code change, but other than that, we don't necessarily always know either, unless it's something that we deal with all the time, such as if, you know, you were dealing with stairways or something like that, which doesn't usually change. And then the electrical code is its own piece.
But like the plumbing code things, I mean, does the plumbing inspector actually know? Are you the plumbing inspector now?
Yeah.
Do you actually know what the changes are that, so
Yeah,
if somebody
we have
wanted to ask you that?
Yeah, they have classes.
They what?
We have classes on.
You have classes on it, okay. I'm just wondering, like, if, like, in wastewater or things like that, if they change
We have classes
calculations
on
or
those.
anything, or what?
Well, we don't get into calculations anyways, that's not something I deal with, so
Okay.
if those change,
Site
I wouldn't know.
debate, yeah, site evaluators do that.
Right,
But you have to trust their numbers too.
Right.
To some degree, right, okay.
yeah.
I know they're licensed, so they're
This is
complying
just-
with that, but I'm just curious, like, you know, if somebody came in and said, okay, what's the difference gonna be? I'm gonna be putting a new septic in, and am I gonna have to, what am I gonna have to do? So you gotta really talk to the site evaluator.
The biggest things this year were they added all the tanks have to have risers now. to the ground.
All have to have risers, yeah. That's not a bad thing, I mean, but,
No,
yeah, but, yeah. Okay, but that's like, that's.
and you can't build over anything anymore, you can't build over a tank like you used to be able to do.
Yeah, driveway, you mean? Or I've
Seen-
seen,
Or
I've
even
seen
a
a
porch.
mobile home with a,
I've seen decks sitting on top.
yeah, decks, and, yeah, I've seen drill wells under a mobile home, and the pump's gone, you know, how do you get at it, you know?
Right.
But yeah, okay, I'm just curious, because those are nice, it's just more interesting things to know than
Right.
necessarily that we actually have to know, but
Right.
it's nice, because people ask you that on the street, and you're like, okay, I don't know for sure. So,
I think it's April 7th, we go to the 2021 IRC IBC Energy Code.
2021,
2021.
yeah,
Yes.
Well, we're in 2015s right now, so
yeah, well, yeah,
they're
slow getting
way
up.
behind on their updates.
Yeah, I'm sure they are.
They're not supposed to be but 3 years behind,
Yeah, but they're,
or 3
Cycles.
cycles behind.
right, okay. I just thought it was an interesting thing that kind of
Yep.
popped up to find out if we have a way of letting people know or whatever, you know, so. But I think what you said too is, I mean, a site evaluator can tell you if there's,
Right.
you know, different changes, like, but like that, the riser being there, that's a nice one to at least know, you know, so, okay. All right, I'm good.
All right, the second article is dealing with transient campgrounds and the general purpose one. Is it only general purpose one?
Yes. This was a
Yeah.
request from
Yep.
a resident of town.
Is that something, and that was another question I had, just to, I guess it'd be a good thing in case someone's watching, but the transient campground, what is the difference between that and a regular campground? I mean, is that something that is significant, or?
That is a regular campground.
It is a regular campground. So, because I was gonna say, you read the definition in the book on what a campground is, it pretty much says the same thing as what a transient campground is, or telling us it should be, so, I don't know. That's why I was just wondering what, it's, so is there a reason that we need a different clarification for it?
It wasn't allowed in
It
that
wasn't
zone.
allowed originally.
It
So
wasn't
he wants
allowed.
it, he wants to be able to have it allowed in that zone.
Okay, so, but he could have just said a campground instead, or,
Well, no, transient campgrounds are basically what he was looking for.
okay,
We don't have an actual campground
Definition.
use.
Yeah.
It's transient.
well, we have a
campgrounds.
definition.
We have a
for it.
definition, but not a
Yeah.
use.
Okay, but yeah, because I know I was reading that, I mean, it's like, basically says where people can come and go, and so, I mean,
Right.
transient is kind of
And
the
I think
similar-
it's the definition for campground of this. Transient just means people coming and going.
Right, okay,
It's not a permanent facility.
yeah. Just one of the other things too, and I read through this, and I know I think way too much about things, but, like, I mean, we leave things in here, but are they actually something that relevant anymore, you know, like, I mean, like, under antenna, saucers, and towers, we don't have anything in the definition, but what is a saucer? I mean, I know what it is, but I'm just saying, do we have anything that even relates to that? you know, other than the fact that we have that's allowed under,
We will when we take it out.
whether we take it out. But I'm just curious of what, you know, some of these things, how often we update them, you know, and, you know, in the definitions, it's not there, you know, so I don't know, just curious, that's all. But anyway, just interesting point.
Yep.
All right, is everyone okay with
Mhm.
Article 2 on this?
Yep, yeah, sounds good.
Any other discussion? Okay, Article 3.
This is required, isn't it?
Yeah, this is state requirement.
And this is to what, the mobile
Yep.
homes in every zone, or every,
Well, in the different zones,
well,
but
the village.
also
village
the A and C, just kind of different classifications, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
too. Anybody got any questions on that? Okay, Article 4.
Historic district wasn't added into any type of information on signs, so it wasn't clear, are they allowed, are they not allowed, what is, what isn't? So we've just added them in with everybody else.
Okay, so you can actually have that. Signs in the historic, it wasn't spelled out that way. Anybody with any questions, concerns, discussion on number 4?
No, okay.
All right, number 5,
This is
this is the
just,
changeable sign one, yes.
yeah, just to clarify that this is how much you're allowed. Its hat was worded in a way that I thought made it hard for people to understand. You're up to half of the allowed square footage, which was 32 square feet, so that's 16. You get 16 square feet. You don't have to use it all, but that's your maximum. Make it simple.
All right, don't have to dig the calculator out.
Yes.
Anybody questions, concerns?
No, I'm good there.
Article 6, section.
This was a request from the board for butter notifications if someone comes in to have a zoning change to their parcel of land.
So that's a good,
It's basically just back into the same with the site plan. It's
Right.
following the same rules in the site plan, so at least the neighbors
Right.
of the
yeah,
person that's
are
trying
aware
to
that
change.
something's going on, right?
All right, anybody got any questions, discussions, concerns? Number 7. I'll let you handle that, Sarah.
This is clarifying some of the accessory dwelling pieces that the Economic Development Council for the state asked us to. And so the attorney for the town went through and made some of those changes. And to clean up the difference between that and accessory apartment and accessory residential structure, and just to make it clearer so there is no confusion. So it touches a lot of different sections. If it's struck through, for example, you'll see that 508.6 is pretty well struck through, but if you go to what is listed as page 12 on yours, that's the rewrite, that's going to be the new 508.6. So it's not that it's going away, it's just that we're rewriting it or it's been rewritten so that it's clearer and meets the pieces that need to be met.
I have a question on the, under B of the accessory structures, the off-site accessory structure, because it talks about, I think where it says, as far as parcel upon which off-site accessory structure to be located, but no more than 200 feet from the lot that contains the principal structure. So, what happens if that is across the road? They own both sides of the road. Can they do it accessory structure across the road? I mean, it doesn't define
Within
that.
200 feet.
As long as
What's
it's
that?
As long as it's within 200 feet.
As long as it's within 200 feet across the road, okay.
Yeah,
And
200
The
feet.
property lines,
Yeah, the
not
property
not
line.
the
Okay.
structures themselves.
Yeah,
Okay, well, that's what I was gonna say, because it does say from the lot itself, so that is the property line. It could be
Yes.
200 feet beyond that lot, that 200 foot.
Yeah,
Okay,
the structure itself.
it's not from the primary structure, it's from the lot
No,
line.
it's from the lot
Okay.
line. So
All right.
it's basically dealing with back lot with everybody in the
Right.
And that got
Lashonda
changed.
Lane, that kind of deal.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
got changed a bunch of years ago.
Yeah, but I know we've run into that before as far as the property across the road or a structure across the road. So I just want to make sure
Absolutely.
that we're taken up. Okay.
And then number 8 is the changes that were requested to the solar section,
Mhm.
and getting rid of large solar.
So, did you get a chance to read this, Cheryl?
Yeah.
So basically, I'll let George bring it up, because it's the thing he was talking about, having larger solar farms and eating up ag land and so forth, so this was something we had discussed at our last meeting. It wasn't anything we'd workshop during any other meeting.
Okay.
So it was just something that was brought up at the last meeting, and we decided to put it in here. Whether or not we agree with it or not, but we just wanted to put it in here, and we can discuss it and so forth.
Yeah, I brought it up because I was concerned with a lot of communities, and we've seen it in other, the surrounding communities, they're starting to restrict solar farms a little bit because they're losing all their farmland and things like that, and they don't care for the view of it, if it's a scenic property or if it's, like over in your area, the side of Black Cat Mountain became all solar farms. It'd probably be disappointing people, and just, so that's why we wanted to say we have some control over it. And I think it was the town of Green that kind of struck just recently, that they had a place over there, was a very scenic area, and they, was someone wanting to put in a large solar farm there, and it would have really been I call it an eyesore, but it would have changed the scenery of that whole area and for miles, because you could see that location from miles away. So I thought, well, maybe the farmland too we're starting to lose a lot of it, and I understand the farmers want to, get the most out of their property as they can, but if they're no longer able to use it, but it's still, it's something where it does affect everyone. So that was why I brought it up, and I just thought, we were thinking that restricting, maximum would be 4 acres, or something to that effect. I don't remember exactly how the conversation went, but.
It started at 10, I think.
Yeah, 10, we said we could, maybe they could go up to 10, and then it was kind of getting complicated, so, and I think John brought it up, he said, why don't we just say we don't do large solar farms, so it keeps you under 4 acres. So that said, well, we can see how that one flies. So it's out there to see how the people feel. I think there's a lot of people in Poland that, especially that, want to preserve some of their farmland, or the appearance of that, and don't want to lose their open fields and things like that, so. So it's something where, that's part of why I brought it up, and like Jim says, in order for them to have a 4-acre solar farm, it takes 10 acres sometimes, depending where it is, to clear the area around it so they get enough sun to, have that farm, so. So we're just kind of like looking at being a little more conservative with our rural area, that's all. That's my take on it, so, and other people have different thoughts, but that's one thing that I brought up.
So I guess the only thing I'd bring up on this is, we kind of beat around the bush at the last meeting, and I think Heather brought it up, and it was sort of mentioned after the meeting. So there is somebody that's wishing to do a solar farm on their property in the town of Poland right now, which I think, from what I've sort of heard through the grapevine, wouldn't be allowed because of this change.
They did contact me again.
So they did contact you, or do you contact,
They
somebody knows,
contacted me
they
again
know
this
about it?
week. They know about it, and they said they'll be here before June.
Okay, so that's fine, they know that they need to put in an application prior to this.
My
if
other
it's-
concern was the one that we have that's been hanging on for the last 3 or 4 years. I talked to the attorney about that, and he felt that if they came in again, then we would have to, in good faith,
Prove it.
work with them to approve that one as well. But,
And this is the one that's
so that's the one that's
They
down by the,
Auburn,
over here,
Poland line.
yeah,
Yeah.
okay. So they haven't done anything with that yet?
No, but I'm gonna contact them.
Might be a little fire underneath them to say,
Yeah, I mean, their approval doesn't run out till after June, but I may contact them, and then if if they're close, it might not be a bad idea to come in before June.
Yeah, to dot the i's, cross the t's, I mean, because the lawyers, I just don't wanna get into that, because, I mean, once again, they've modified that a couple times, haven't they?
Well,
I think
yeah,
they-
you got modified the second time.
The second time.
And
right.
then
They
they
just,
came in and got reapproval for,
right,
so all they can do now is come back for a brand new.
Right. They were hoping that the PUC was gonna stop dithering and move things along. That, last time, that was what they were waiting for.
okay.
I've noticed in the past, there's a lot of the solar is going in where wetlands are, where you can't build or anything.
Well, that'd be great.
Apparently, they could allow that use, I guess.
Yeah, it's not considered a structure in a wetland, solar, solar's not, which is a way I don't wanna go down a road, because
No.
I think it's just allowing something that they want versus
Right,
stuff
right.
other people would like to have, so, but, you know, we gotta live by the rules that, unless
That's
you
right.
change the administration up that way, so. So that basically was what it was all about, Cheryl, just was the size wise and so forth, and
Let the voters decide.
So I guess that's all the changes we're looking to do to the CLUC, so unless somebody's jumping in a car doing 100 miles an hour down here, I don't see anybody that wishes to speak. So I guess, George, you or anybody wanna call an end to the public?
Sure. I'd
Hearing,
say we
please.
close the public hearing on the CLUC amendments of 2025 at 6:50.
Have a second, please?
Second.
Discussion? All those in favor? All right, so we wanna go down through these one by one and do a vote?
Mhm.
Okay, Article 1. Not that we have much choice, but you can always put in a dissenting voice. It doesn't matter, they're still gonna have to follow it.
Do we have to make a separate motion for each one?
Yes,
You do?
it's,
Okay.
it's gonna be you move to recommend, and then a second, and then you vote for or against.
Okay. So I can make a motion that we approve article, change for Article 1. And then I guess as far as the recommendation comes after the vote.
Yeah, well,
Sorry,
that's what the vote is.
Depending on the
for.
vote is.
Depending on the
That's what
vote,
the
right,
vote is,
okay.
yeah.
Yeah. So I'm making a motion that we approve the change for Article 1.
Have a second?
Second.
Discussion? All those in favor?
And
Article 2.
make a motion that we accept the change on Article 2 and add the transient campground to the permitted uses in that zone.
Second.
All right, discussion? All those in favor? The next one, Article 3, dealing with the mobile home.
I'll make a motion that we approve the changes for Article 3 to add the different classifications.
Second.
Discussion? All those in favor?
And
Article 4 is just spell out the signs in the historic district.
right, I'll make a motion that we approve Article 4 for the changes to clarify the permanent signs.
Second.
Discussion? All those in favor? Next one is dealing with the changeable signs and the square footage that's allowed, so it's not, so it's more easily understood by the public.
Right.
So could I have a motion on that, please?
I'll make a motion that we approve Article 5 clarification on the changeable signs.
Second.
Discussion? All those in favor? The next one, Article 6, deals with any person trying to get a proposed zoning change, that the abutters will be notified on this, up to 500 feet. Can I have a motion on that, please?
Make a motion that we approve Article 6, the changes to zoning changes notification.
Second.
Discussion? All those in favor? Article 7 is big lawyer rewrite about accessory dwelling units, off-site accessories, structures. Just trying to make that,
Add into all zones.
well, I'm just changing it in the different areas of the book so it's consistent throughout.
Basically, it's taken out what we had before, accessory dwellings, accessory dwelling units.
Rewriting it.
The state requires accessory apartment or accessory dwelling units.
Accessory dwelling.
We had accessory apartments and accessory off-site, accessory residential structures.
Right. So it's rewriting that section for Article 7 to conform with the state recommendations, I'd say, or standards.
Yeah.
Can I have a motion,
Make,
please?
make a motion that we approve Article 7.
Second.
Discussion, all those in favor? Article 8, going with solar farms, and mainly getting rid of the large scale solar farms.
We'll make a motion that we approve Article 8, removing the large-scale solar farms from the land use code.
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor? I'm gonna vote against that, just to go contrarian on that,
Okay.
because it's like we couldn't change. This was the best way we could change what needed to be changed, we put it out to the voters. I think the 4, because it was already defined as 4 acres, I would have liked to seen that higher, but we couldn't change it because of what was presented at our last meeting, you know, because so forth, so. But that's fine, it's 3-1, so recommendation. Can I ask on that too, like, I asked about this during budget season too, so I don't know. When it says planning board recommends, is there a way to actually have it, planning board recommends 4-0, 3-1, whatever, or does it have to just say recommend?
I honestly don't know. I can ask
Okay.
if we can put the vote on there. I don't see why that would be a problem per se,
Yeah.
but I will ask about that and get
I
an
mean,
answer.
This is not anything controversial like we've had in the past where
Right,
it might have been a 3-2 vote. I mean, at least like when we used to have town hall meeting, the
right.
town meetings, somebody could get up, which happened every once in a while, and said, was this a unanimous vote? And we'd have to say no. And certain people say, well, this is da-da-da-da, but it's more on the budgetary items, which I'm on that committee as well. I'd like to see split, just so it doesn't seem like it's unanimous on everything, which this was pretty much unanimous, so it doesn't matter here. But I just didn't know if there was any state statute, it just said,
I don't know. I'll have
Okay.
to look into that.
yeah, and I can ask when we get into budget season too.
Mhm.
Okay, well, that's our votes on that. So, so all of this information's on the web page, or will be?
It is on the, right now it's on the planning board in the packet materials for tonight. When it goes to the Board of Select Persons, it
Mhm.
will be on their information, and then as we get to voting time, it will be listed
It'll be on
out
the-
on the webpage as well. And then it will have an actual article number and all
Sure.
of those pieces, so.
And if, so would there be paper copies here at the office as well?
Yes, there'll be paper
Okay.
copies here. Obviously, it'll be in color on the website, because there are black and white copies if anyone had come.
Yep.
Which is a little bit harder, but, and then at voting, there will also be paper copies there at the beginning, but most people don't really look around, unfortunately. They can't be in the booths where you actually vote, because there's restrictions on what has to be there and what can't be there. So, yeah, but yeah, we try and put it out as much as possible, so.
I know, it is kinda hard when you see the black and white copy, because
Yeah.
whatever I picked up at the transfer station dealing with the additional money at the RSU, it said, look at this pie chart, the green
Yeah.
portion represents, and it's all black and white.
I know.
I mean, you can figure it out knowing how much money they get
Right.
dropped to them, and how much the
Well,
additional money
The
is.
worst part is, we actually had to make those ourselves because they didn't want to do paper copies.
The RSU didn't?
Correct. Everything was either you can scan the QR code or you can go online. but we actually had to cut it out and copy and paste and print them. And so, that, you know, and hodgepodge it because they absolutely refuse, they don't want a paper copy. Which is, and we're like, no, people need to know, they need to know what's going on and they need to have their voice heard. And not everybody has access
Right.
to a computer and the internet.
And once again, it's a small document, it's two-sided, as much
Yeah.
as I hate to read something on this or read on an iPad.
Yeah.
It's not like getting our planning board packet
Right,
as well, but still, it's like you say, certain people,
they just
I know a
don't.
lot of people in the lakes really have really crappy,
Well,
You know,
internet
internet.
service, exactly, and,
You know.
Yeah.
you know, and there's still a lot of elderly people, like, say that I'm elderly, but, you know, it's something where there's a lot of older people that
Yeah.
they don't use a cell phone, or they may use a cell phone, but they don't use a computer, and, you
Right.
know, email is messages, I mean, they just ignore it, they don't want to even
Mhm.
look at them, you know, or be part of it, so.
easier to take a highlighter to this than a
Yeah,
phone.
it is, I tell you, no, but I mean,
Why do they not want paper copies?
Transparency.
I
Is-
can't voice that, there wasn't a clear answer given as to why, it was simply, but we provided it here, if that's not good enough, that's not really our problem.
So to heck with the taxpayers who can't access it online. Okay.
Everybody needs to remember
I
these things.
believe the answer to that was, well, you can just, pull out your phone and help them with it.
Are you gonna go door to door? In your spare time, sir?
Yes, apparently.
See, so what you're saying to me, Cheryl, is if you miss a meeting or two here, be at the RSU meeting and give them just as much help. I mean,
Yes.
Seriously.
Yeah,
Because you were right on top of a lot of that stuff, so.
Yeah.
Looking into it, so
I
it's,
still am.
well, that's what I mean.
I just-
Make sure if you're gonna miss a meeting, we can survive without you here, but
Okay.
maybe, you know,
Go there.
stir it up a little bit wider down that way.
I'm coming to the budget meeting too, just saying.
Oh, good. All right, so that's everything through that, so I guess we don't have to close it because we made our recommendations.
Yep.
So do we have to table an informational, or we just say it didn't occur?
We can just say it's been moved to the next meeting.
Okay,
and-
the informational for Joe Semino on Main Street, map 6, lot 47, sublots 1, 3, and 4. He came in a couple days ago and said he wasn't gonna be able to make it tonight. He will be at the next meeting, which is on the 25th. So I guess we don't need to table that, we just need to say it's been moved. And we got a
Do
bunch
need-
of findings.
Go back
Oh, I
to
got the
minutes.
minutes.
I just don't want to forget them.
Yep, no. All right, minutes were a really quick, easy meeting.
mhm.
On the 28th. Not much to read.
Yeah, I can make a motion if you want.
Please.
The minutes of January 28, 2025, I vote we approve, or I'll make a recommendation, we approve them as presented.
All right, do I have a second? That's it, they can vote, all those in favor? You can go right ahead and we'll pass it down, so paperwork doesn't get lost in my end of the table, which it has. So we got, the next thing will be the formal site plan for the town of Poland, 1 Waste Not Drive, map 15, lot 1B. This was a little while ago, but this is, make things a little nicer for the public when they have to go up to the transfer station. That's right.
When are they actually going to be starting work on that? you know?
That is in limbo, is my understanding, because all those monies from the federal government have been frozen. So, I don't know that for sure, but that's my understanding.
Is there, a recommendation, I mean,
Mhm.
approving it?
Yeah, because I mean, the conditions are all laid out here.
Right.
Sebago's got to provide something to Scott if they haven't already before the building permit, so it's all,
All taken care of.
yeah. So, I'd like to have a motion, please.
I'll make a motion, we approve the finding facts and conclusion of law for mobile site plan, Town of Poland, 1 Waste Not Drive, map 15, lot 1B.
Second.
All right, any discussion, all those in favor?
Yes. Somebody seconded that? I guess.
Next is a finding of fact for Island Hughes Holdings LLC, 95 McGuire Hill Road, map 27, lots 17 and 18.
I didn't see anything there that we had already talked about, so I guess I would make a motion that we approve the findings, facts, and conclusion of law for formal site plan, Howard Hughes Holding LLC, 95 McGuire Hill Road, map 27, lot 17 and 18.
Second.
Discussion. All those in favor? And then the last one is for Matt.
Other stuff.
Is, no, it's coming back after Jim gets it. The last one is a formal site plan application.
It's not a
Should be a formal site
Site
plan
plan amendment.
amendment for Matt New, 1379 Main Street, map 15, lot 5C. This was change of the ballards and the vacuum
back,
stand.
up close to the building.
Yeah.
So I can make a motion that finding the facts and conclusion of law for formal site plan application amendment for Matt New, 1379 Main Street, map 15, lot 5C. Presented.
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor? I guess we should probably hold on to this, which has,
Yes, there are large maps that I put on the table, if anybody wanted them, or I can take them
Well,
back.
there's one here, you better, okay, because I'm not gonna be here, like, Cheryl take that, or Jim?
well, I was gonna give,
You can just give
I
them
was
back.
gonna give it
I'll
back to
bring
Sarah, and then she can bring it
Oh,
back.
just a whole-
I didn't know if
okay.
anybody wanted to look at them
Oh,
tonight,
Well, I
so.
looked at it real quick when I got here. It's just, once again, don't understand it, but that's why we have to have the discussion. All right, so that gets through everything that we have on the agenda. The public hearing and all. All right, any other business, Jim?
Good.
I'm good, George.
I'm good.
Cheryl?
I'm good.
Scott, anything major coming up? Heard something about a minor subdivision, I think Sarah
Next
mentioned about
one.
last time?
Next meeting.
Yes. And then the informational, thus far, that's all that's on the table.
That's all that's on the agenda?
Yep.
Anything else you need to discuss?
Nope.
All right, I'll take one final motion then. Cheryl, make a motion.
Oh, I make a motion to adjourn.
There you
Second.
All right, all those in favor? Good night,
go.
everybody.
Let's get you in the, back in the loop again, you know?